Hi, welcome. My name is Eric Simpson, an online weight loss specialist for busy professional women over 40 who are looking to lose weight and tone up without having to count calories or spend hours exercising every day, or trying to be 100% perfect in trying to achieve their goal. In my video today, I'm going to be speaking about how much weight on average can you safely lose in a month without it being harmful to your health. So I'm going to go through what I believe that weight range is, but before I do that, I just want to cover off some of the behind the scenes and some of the background information that may help you to make a decision in terms of how much weight you think you can lose safely each month. And I'm also going to provide for you a real life case study of a client of mine who took off 71 pounds. I'm going to show you the figures that she lost on average over the course of the time that she took to lose the 71 pounds. So let's get into the first thing then. So what are we trying to lose? We're trying to lose body fat and not lean body tissue. That's important to understand when we're thinking about weight loss, because if you are just indiscriminately trying to cut the pounds, drop the pounds as rapidly as you possibly can, you run the risk of doing some sort of a fatty diet. And when you do that, the implications are that you could potentially be losing lean body tissue, muscle. And when you lose muscle, it's going to have an adverse effect on your ability to maintain your weight long term. And when you come off such a fatty diet, assuming you go on one, you'll find you'll pile the weight back on very, very quickly, and you'll probably end up being heavier than what you were when you first started out. So we're trying to lose body fat and not muscle. We need to be really clear about that. Okay, so what are some of the variables when it comes to losing weight? Well, some of the variables are fluid retention, and that can be down to, again, diet. If you've got a diet that's heavy in salt, if you're going through a menstrual cycle, these things are all going to play a part in your ability to be able to lose weight. But once those things are stabilized, you should then see consistent weight loss. But in the beginning, you may see some pretty dramatic weight loss results as a consequence of losing a lot of fluid. Bowel movement, again, is another factor. And I've worked with enough clients now to know that if your bowels are not working properly, you can quite literally go a good number of days without having any sort of bowel movement, and then you do, and then suddenly there can be a drop in weight. So these two things are not uncommon. And then the third one I put on there is the thyroid, an underactive thyroid to be specific. If you have an underactive thyroid, then that also will have an impact on your ability to lose weight. Typically women are on thyroxine, different levels of medication, but that will have an impact on the amount of pounds that you can lose on a weekly basis. So they're just some of the variables. Okay, some of the dangers then of rapid weight loss. So what do I mean by rapid weight loss first of all? Well, rapid weight loss is anything above 3 pounds a week. And I know we hear about people losing 4 pounds, 5 pounds, 10 pounds in a week, but typically that is not sustainable over the long course of time, and there are some dangers with that. And one of the dangers from an aesthetic point of view is saggy skin, where you lose that amount of weight, that amount of fat and muscle that quickly. It can leave your skin unsupported of lean body tissue, which is why I always recommend people do exercise, specifically weight training, when they're losing weight, so that you can support the loss of that muscle with lean body tissue, so you don't get that saggy appearance that people often have when they're losing weight. The other danger is, I mentioned it earlier, loss of muscle mass. When you lose muscle, you are going to drop your metabolism and make it harder for you to maintain your weight. And then you've got other medical complications, and there are more than just gallstones, but that is one of them that people can suffer with when they lose rapidly. So those are just three of the dangers to rapid weight loss. And there are many others as well. But it just gives you an idea that losing weight rapidly, more than 3 pounds a week, is not such a good idea. Okay, let's talk about weight loss ranges then. So anywhere between 1 pound and 10 pounds. And I mentioned earlier, when you're starting off on a weight loss journey, it's quite possible that within the space of 1 week, you could be losing up to 10 pounds in that week. Now, what is that weight loss? Well, typically, it's going to be a lot of fluid that you're losing, and it may well be your digestive tract just clearing itself out. So it's quite possible you could lose up to 10 pounds, but that is not sustainable. We need to be talking about what is sustainable weight loss. So let's get into that now. So for me, sustainable weight loss is anywhere between 1.25 pounds a week to 1.75 pounds a week. Now, the government guidelines are between, I believe it's 1 and 2 pounds a week. So why don't I say as much as 2 pounds a week? Well, if you've been involved in weight loss yourself, and I suspect you have as a busy professional woman over 40, then you will know that trying to consistently lose 2 pounds a week when you are busy and you've got lots of engagements going on, and maybe you've got a history of not doing as well as you would like to have done, trying to hit 2 pounds every week is a big ask. I recommend that people go between 1.25, because it's a bit more than a pound, and when you stack up weeks and weeks and weeks of 1.25, it soon adds up. And if you're hitting the 1.75 pounds a week over a number of weeks, that is considerable weight loss. But here's the thing, if you then hit 2 pounds, it feels like a bonus. But what you're doing is you're setting a weight range that you feel is sustainable, because that's what this has got to be. You know, if at any point at all you feel as though you're being deprived, you're starving, you're missing out on things, you can't go to events, the second you start to feel that way, then you're going to be in trouble. And trying to lose more than 2 pounds a week can certainly put you in that situation. So for me, it's 1.25 to 1.75. Things to consider before you decide whether it is 1.25 or 1.75 is, first of all, your lifestyle. You know, if you are the sort of busy professional that is always out on business events, social events, with friends, family, work colleagues, and that's busy, to try and aim for 2 or more pounds a week, having gone from not losing any weight at all, I would suggest that is a big ask from the get-go. 1.25 might be a more sensible option, because it's going to be a little bit more progressive. Your personality type, again, that's going to be a factor. If you're one of these people that likes to sort of try and be perfect all the time, and you set really high figures, the chances are, for the reasons I've already explained, anything above 2 pounds, you know, 2 pounds is going to be difficult to maintain. And really, you probably set yourself up for failure. And I've worked with enough busy professional women now who have set the bar so high that it's almost inevitable they're going to fail. So you've got to be careful. So you just need to monitor your personality type. And then sustainable or sustainability emotionally. Again, I alluded to the fact, if you are a busy professional with lots of work events, social events, and food's a central part of that, which it often is, trying to suddenly become this perfect person that's eating well all the time, I don't think that's sustainable emotionally. Not only is it not sustainable emotionally for most people in the short term, and when I say short term, I'm talking 3 to 6 months, I think as a long-term lifestyle, you're probably going to crash and burn at some point. So you're better off having a little bit of leeway so that you can lose weight, but you can still enjoy some of the things that you like to enjoy. That's going to make it far more enjoyable for you, not only losing the weight, but learning how you can maintain that weight loss long term. So the case study I mentioned, here's a lady called Sue that I work with. Sue took off 71 pounds, and as you can see there, she did that over 44 weeks, but she was losing on average 1.6 pounds per week. That was the average weight loss. Now that's not to say every week she, registered 1.61. I suspect at the early start of the program, I think her figures were more like, she might have done like 3 or 4 pounds in the first week for reasons that I've already explained. And then she found her average. And there were some weeks where she didn't lose any weight, and I think over the course of time, I think it was rare that she gained any weight. She may have done. But what I'm basically saying is, over the course of 44 weeks, 1.61 pounds can get you 71 pounds lighter. So there's no need to aim for, I say, 2 pounds or more. Aiming for that 1.25 or the 1.75, I think that is realistic. And if you do more than 1.75, it's bonus to you. So that's just an example of one lady who achieved quite a fantastic result, I would say. That was Sue. So just in summary then, think about these 6 points before you think about how much weight you want to lose. You need to understand you're trying to burn fat, okay? You're not just trying to lose weight, you're trying to burn fat. You don't want to be losing muscle. Think about the variables that are in there, and there are some variables in there. Think about some of the dangers, those dangers being, from an aesthetic point of view, saggy skin. Think about drop of metabolism, think about gallstones. Those are real things that do happen to people when they go on these dramatic weight losses of 3, 4, 5 pounds a week. Think about the ranges that you're aiming for. Again, I said the range 1.25 to 1.75. I think that's sustainable. And if you drop below 1.25, hey, so what? 0.25 pounds of a weight loss in a week that's really, really busy can be seen as a real success. Think about it being sustainable. If you've got to lose more than say 20, 30 pounds or just 10 pounds, you have to have a sustainable effort, and trying to aim too high is going to make that incredibly difficult. And finally, just think about the case study I showed you, Sue. 1.6 pounds per week over 44 weeks. It wasn't about trying to lose 4 and 5 pounds a week. It was just nice, steady and progressive. So hopefully that's given you some ideas about how much weight on average you can safely lose in a month. I'd like to know what you think is a safe amount of weight loss to lose, and any comments you may have, feel free to leave them below. And if you'd like to have a conversation about your own weight loss, there'll be a link in the description below where you can book a free, no obligation consultation with me. We can have find out a bit about you, what your goals are. I can also explain a little bit about the program. Nothing to buy on that call, it's purely fact finding. So yeah, you'll find a link in the description below. Until next time, take very good care, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done that already so that you can be notified when I release my next video. Until then, take care and bye for now.